All right, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Are we ready? Are we ready? Testing. Do I have a microphone here? Do I have a microphone? There it is. All right. So, lots of craziness going on, lots of craziness. But first, let's give a warm welcome to our special guest, Barack Obama. Barack Obama in the house. So this is my new setup, all right? So I had a whole new thing before, but we're gonna go run through this real quick. Right here, what you see is something that's sight-sized. And so what we have right here, right? We've got, this is by 30 by 30, and what you're looking at is my screen. And so this measures about, I don't know, I think it's about 20. Well, I can measure it right now. We're going to measure it, people. Come on. Come on. So about 18 centimeters on my screen, right? And so the point is you want the same size that you're painting to be the same size that you're looking at. And we do another magic sort of little thing. Are you ready? Are you ready for some secrets? Okay. So what we do is we start out like this, okay? And we just start painting, all right? We don't fool around. We just start painting, people, all right? And so what we're doing is we're securing the perimeter. Most people, like, they do this drawing thing, right? But what if you suck at drawing and you mess up the drawing? You're going to mess up your painting, all right? This is not a coloring book. This is oil painting, like the greatest painters of all time. So what we do is we start it like this. We secure the perimeter. We get after it nice and loose, right? So we're just hitting all of the dark tones. And we keep it upside down. And the reason why we keep it upside down is we don't want to be painting. Okay, this is Barack Obama, right? The Lord and the Savior of humanity. He was a big figure, and some people really have a lot of affection for the time he was in office. And so if you're painting Barack Obama, you don't be like, oh my God, his lips, I wanted this to be perfect. And you want to remove your ego. You don't want to get any of that ego in there. So you're just hitting right now, you're securing the perimeter. You're just getting the exact placement down, right? And then you're measuring, right? Then you're measuring like this. And as you can see here, we have, we can even go more better. Come on, where's my grid? Where's my grid? All right, can you see the grid? All right, so do you see, I don't know if you can see it any better. It's the same thing anyways. So you have the grid, you have your measuring, you know, it could be a ruler. I prefer to use a thing, and then you get after it, okay? And so that's the method. Let's give it up for the method. All right. So what I want to talk to you about today is so the French, right? The French have this amazing tradition for pissing people off with their art. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you take you down a little bit of if we can do it here. Okay. So here we go. A little French history lesson. Des modèles des Avignon. Come on, come on. When this was debuted, I think in 1910 or whenever, very early on, it freaked everybody out. Picasso had African masks that his buddy Max Jacob stole from the Louvre. And so he used the African masks as a sort of primitive foundation to create prostitutes in the city of Avignon. This was first called, instead of Les Demoiselles, it was called the Bordel, or the whorehouse of Avignon. And so this catapulted Picasso onto the world scene because this was so incredibly shocking. But Picasso was kind of ripping somebody else off in a way, which is Manet. Now this is Manet, Déjeuner à la herbe, lunching on the grass. And so they thought this was also shocking. He's fully clothed, bourgeois, a gentleman. Oops. Okay, looking good. All right. With these women who are in different stages of undress, having a luncheon. And so are they having group sex? What are they doing? Why are the women undressed? What's going on? And Manet at this point was a celebrated painter, painting. His paintings were accepted at the Salon, and this was a huge, like, oh man, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? It was considered extremely provocative. And then right around that time, a little bit later, we have this incredibly interesting story. This is John Singer Sargent. And Sargent was just the man. He was incredibly quick, incredibly great at making portraits, and he was sort of the toast of the town. He was an American that went through London and Paris painting the portraits of rich women. So he painted this, right? And at first he painted her shoulder strap off, right? And then she was like, oh, that's too provocative. So this was a very much a very high society woman, and he called her Madame X. He exhibited it, and because this was so provocative and her skin was so sensual, and he just nailed her sensuality with such precision. And I'll read it to you here. Oops, where is it? Okay. Reception. All right, so it just blew everybody's mind. And at the very end, the poor, public, and critical reception was a disappointment to both the artist and the model. Both of them were humiliated by this painting, and Sargent soon left Paris and moved to London permanently. That's right. This painting changed his career, changed the trajectory of career because it was so provocative and so sexy for its time. And then, of course, you have the famous, let's give it up, come on now, the absinthe drinker, Edward Degas. Absinthe is kind of almost was like the heroin of the time. It was made of wormwood. Picasso and Van Gogh bathed themselves in absinthe, and it was considered the drink of the poor, of the uncultured, who didn't have any money to drink anything else but just wanted to get drunk. Degas put a woman, a high society woman with a beautiful hat, in an expensive cafe with a drink of absinthe, and that made everybody completely go mental. And of course, we have the most celebrated painting that made everybody go mental, which is Origin du Monde, Gustave Courbet. And I'm not showing the actual painting because there was a lawsuit with Facebook. Facebook began to censor people who displayed this painting as a work of art. And as you can see, it's a very realistic presentation, a realistic rendering of a woman's private parts. It's hanging in the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. And Facebook went after anybody who would display this painting as a work of art. And so the French, almost like the French government, began to, and people who were censored began to sue Facebook and say, this is a work of art. Who are you, Facebook, to censor such an important piece of French artistic history, right? And so, in that model, where's the drum roll? In that model, I present to you, in the tradition of vulgarity and craziness, I present to you I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call it the third jab. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna take this Bored Ape thing, right? This is an algorithm. This is famous. This board thing, NFT thing is famous. I'm gonna take this idea where you have a background, you have a functional just character image, and then you add to that character image. I'm going to take this photo and I'm going to remove all of the things, and he's going to be jamming, right? He's going to be jamming every type of thing you can possibly. Yes, he's going to be jamming naughty bits. You can see right here. He's going to be jamming bananas. He's going to be jamming saucisson. He's going to be jamming everything you can possibly imagine, and the caption is going to be looking for the third jab. He has two things that he's jabbing in his face, and he's looking for the third jab. It's vulgar, it's disgusting, it's horrific, and it's in tradition of the French artistic tradition. And we always say, never forget, never forget. I want nobody ever to forget what this dude did as far as like the relationship between my daughter. We didn't have a summer vacation. She was isolated. Her mother pulled her out of school because of the mask thing. So the presidential election is coming up. So I want this NFT to be a ridicule of his legacy. So no one will ever forget the travesty of what happened to everybody in the world. They're going to try to pretend like it didn't even happen, right? Like with cholesterol and butter and AIDS. AIDS just disappeared. Now this COVID thing has disappeared, right? Not with this NFT, people. Not with this NFT. We're going to make sure that it goes down in history as something that people will keep in their consciousness. It'll be on the blockchain forever. All right. Once again, he's going to be having every type of thing, shoving every type of thing you can possibly imagine in his mouth. Anyways, so okay, so that's the update. All right. I'm going to use a canvas. I'm going to actually use a canvas. It's going to be much bigger. All right. I'm not going to bother setting it up, but I'm going to use a canvas. I've already got the thing down. Boom. Right. I've already got there it is. So we're going to start out like that, just like I said. All right. We're going to start out like this. Boom. Bring it up. 30% reduction, 20% reduction, 10% reduction. full metal thing, take a digital photo of it, and then start creating the he's going to wear a goofy hat, he's going to have goofy clothes on, and he's going to have all kinds of goofy stuff that he's going to try to put in his mouth. And he will be ridiculed from here to the end of time. And it'll be stuck on the blockchain from here to the end of time. And I have to decide now, where do I go? Do I go OpenSea, Rarible? Which platform do I use it? If it's I don't want it to be there for kids if it's going to be that vulgar. So there's adult NFT things. Then we can make one that's sort of family friendly. That's just a big joke, and then one that's super vulgar and horrible, emulating, mirroring the vulgarity and the horribleness that I felt that I was subject to because of this person's policies in government. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. It's Valentine's Day. I'm gonna go out. I might be swept up by a protest. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But thanks for coming. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, keep in touch, and come here. The party is on, people. All right. Talk to you next time. Au revoir.